My name is Anna. I am 25 years old and I want to tell you a story from my childhood. This story is both scary and exciting. I will never forget it. When I was a child, I loved spending holidays in a small village near the city. My friends and I liked playing outside in winter. We played games near a frozen pond close to the forest. One game we always played was hide and seek. On one winter day, we decided to play hide and seek again. There were two teams. One team had to count to 300 while the other team hid. I was on the hiding team. When the counting started, I ran into the forest. I found a good hiding spot under a big pine tree. The branches were low and covered in snow. I thought, this is the perfect place. No one will find me here. I lay down on the cold ground and covered myself with pine branches. The snow began to fall and it was quiet. I stayed there waiting. It became dark. The game was still going on, but I did not hear any voices or footsteps. I thought maybe they are far away or maybe they can't find me. Suddenly I saw a light. It was not close, but I could see it moving. It was a flashlight. I thought it was one of my friends. So I stayed still. But then I noticed the shadow of a person. It was not a child. It was a tall man. My heart started to race. Who is this? I thought. He did not look like anyone I knew. He looked like a strange man from old stories, like a man who lives alone in the forest. I did not know what to do. The man was getting closer. I wanted to stay quiet, but the pine branches under me made a loud crack. The man stopped and turned his flashlight toward me. I froze. He began to walk toward me. I grabbed a stick near me and threw it far away. The sound of the stick hitting the ground made him stop and look in another direction. I used this chance to run. I ran as fast as I could through the snow. My heart was beating so fast. I could not feel the cold because I was so scared. I ran until I reached the pond where my friends were. When they saw me, they laughed and said, "Why did you come back? Did you lose the game?" I told them everything. Their faces changed. My best friend said, "I heard there's a dangerous man who escaped from a hospital. Maybe it was him." We quickly called the other kids and told them to leave the forest. That night we stayed in the village and talked about what happened. We were scared but also curious. Who was that man? A few days later we decided to find out. We packed our bags with food, flashlights, and warm clothes. We wanted to go back to the forest to look for the man. For several days we watched the forest, but we saw nothing. Some of my friends started to say, "Maybe you imagined it, Anna," but I knew what I saw. One morning in spring, we met a man from the village. He was wearing an old hunting jacket and carrying tools. He said he lost his equipment in the forest during the winter. Then he added, "I think it was the night you kids were playing hide and seek." We all froze. It was him. He was the man I saw that night. He was not dangerous. He was just a hunter looking for his tools. After that, we stopped playing hide and seek in the forest. But I still remember how scared I was that night. Even now, when I think about it, I feel a chill. This story taught me to be careful. Even when I think I am safe, it is a memory I will never forget. After we found out the man was just a hunter, my friends laughed and said, "Anna, you were so scared for nothing." I smiled, but deep inside I still felt strange. The forest at night is not the same as during the day. It can make you feel small and lost. For a few weeks, life went back to normal. We stopped playing in the forest and stayed near the village. We played games in the open fields or near the pond, but I still loved the forest. I loved its tall trees, soft ground, and quiet sounds. One sunny afternoon, my best friend Sarah said, "Anna, let's go to the forest. We can collect pine cones and look for animal tracks in the snow." I was nervous but didn't want her to think I was afraid. I said okay, but let's stay close to the path. We walked into the forest with a small basket. The snow was melting and we could hear water dripping from the trees. It felt peaceful. Sarah pointed at some rabbit tracks. "Look, Anna, a rabbit must have been here this morning." We laughed and talked as we walked deeper into the forest. The sun was shining through the trees, and everything seemed fine. But then I saw something that made me stop. In the snow there were footprints. They were big, too big to be ours. Sarah saw them too. She said, "Maybe it's a hunter again." But these footprints didn't go in a straight line like a hunter's. They moved in circles like someone was wandering around. I felt my heart beat faster. "Let's go back, Sarah," I said. But Sarah wanted to follow the footprints. "It's probably nothing," she said. "Come on, Anna, don't be scared." I didn't want to go, but I followed her. The footprints led us to a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing, there was a pile of sticks and old, dirty blankets. "It looked like someone had been sleeping there," Sarah whispered. "Maybe it's a homeless person." I nodded, but my hands were shaking. The clearing felt wrong. It was too quiet. Even the birds weren't singing. Suddenly we heard a noise. It was soft at first, like someone stepping on dry leaves. Then it got louder, like heavy boots crunching in the snow. Sarah grabbed my arm. "Run," she said. We dropped the basket and ran as fast as we could. My legs felt weak, but I didn't stop. I could hear the footsteps behind us getting closer. When we reached the edge of the forest, we saw an old man standing near the path. He had a kind face and was holding a walking stick. "What's wrong, girls?" he asked. We told him about the footprints and the noise. He looked serious and said, "You shouldn't play in the forest alone. There are people who live there and not all of them are friendly." His words scared me even more. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the clearing and the footprints. Who was out there? Why were they walking in circles? After that, I never went into the forest alone again, but the mystery stayed in my mind. Sometimes I would look out my window at night, wondering if someone was out there watching the village. Years later, I told this story to my little brother. He laughed and said, "Anna, you always imagine the worst." Maybe he's right. Maybe it was just a hunter or a traveler, but part of me still wonders. What if it wasn't? The forest is a beautiful place, but it has its secrets, and sometimes it's better not to know them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories and lessons. Hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Your support means a lot to us. See you next time.